Hello, everyone. Welcome to the very first 1915 Studios pitch night here at Georgia Pacific NENA campus. I'm Jess Mabus. I'm one of the managing directors for G-Beta, and I am so excited to be here, not just because the air is a lot cleaner here than Colorado, which is where I came from, but because this group of startups has been fantastic, and you are in for a really cool evening. So G-Beta 1915 Studios is a part of a larger company called Generator. Generator started right here in Wisconsin in 2012, and it was a traditional equity-based accelerator, meaning we would invest money, take equity in startups, and send them on their way after the program was done. But our founders quickly realized that there are so many more pieces to innovation and entrepreneurship than just tech startups. And so it quickly evolved. We now offer job training, upskilling. We offer programs for musicians and visual artists and pre-accelerators, anything you can think of that touches innovation, corporate groups, executives, where we take them to ecosystems, we offer it. And our mission has evolved into being the best partner for a community or a corporation to invest in its best and brightest. And that's exactly what we've done here with GP. This program, I have seen a lot of startup accelerators. I've been through multiple startup accelerators myself. And what GP has offered these companies is so rare. I've never seen another program like it. These startups didn't get an investment. They got something much cooler and probably even more valuable than an investment-based accelerator. They got an open space to GP's lab capabilities. They got patent research. They got biochemical testing. This is stuff that no other accelerator offers in the country, let alone the world, that I've ever seen. So what we have done here is so rare, and we are so grateful to GP. And I want to bring on the woman who made everything happen. It is kind of crazy to think that Shakia has worked here for like maybe 3 months. So she started, and like the next week we picked the companies, and then she just started the program, which is bonkers to think about, but she's done an extraordinary job. She's worked her butt off with these companies, and we could not be more happy to have her at Generator. So this is the last you will hear from me. Shakia is going to run the show. She's a big woman on campus, so give it up for Shakia.
Oh, it's different on stage. All right, I am Shakia Curtis, director of 1915. All of those wonderful things Jess said about me, I'm going to believe them tonight. But very excited about the program and just thankful for the partnership. Thankful for my right hand, Darren Dreesen. It's been a great time. And as she said, we jumped in and the program has been awesome. So we are G-Beta, which is under Generator program. So usually these programs are for 7 weeks. They're non-equity, and it's 5 founders or 5 teams so that we can work one-on-one, and they're usually local roots. So this one's a little different. 1915 is 11 weeks We literally recruited from all over. So we have founders from everywhere, but we still capped it at 5 teams and wanted to give them that one-on-one concierge service. So that is what our G Beta is about. Since 2015, when we started, we have grown to 25 cities, and our goals that we want to hit is at least with 1/3 of the founders that graduate this program, that they at least go into a full-time accelerator, equity-based, or that they raise $50,000. Well, looking at our companies, 548 have graduated through our G Beta programs. 47% have hit our metrics. And all together with those graduates, they have raised $215 million. So great statistics. But this is why we're here. For the last 11 weeks, these founders, these teams have been working and doing some amazing things, from building with some of the scientists and the research, the different microbiology lab that is available, which I've learned too many things about that since I've been here. I don't, too much. But it's just been amazing. We've done lunch and learns, we've done mentor swarms, investor swarms, met so many different community people and investors who are willing to pour into. But our founders have also done the work. So just very excited about what we've done in these 11 weeks. I've grown relationships with individuals that wouldn't have been possible without this program. So very, very proud of my teams. So as they say, it takes a village, right? It takes a village plus some to work in an accelerator, as I've learned. So this is just some of my peers that stepped in and helped with one-on-ones and lunch and learns and giving feedback. So just wanted to take the time to thank Team Generator, many more, but those are just a few. Of course, we took a lot of allocated time from GP's team, and it was so many of you guys trying to put pictures together wouldn't have worked. So we just wanted to thank the full GP, Kurt, and everyone else that participated in giving us the feedback, sitting in our lunch and learns, being mentors, the feedback. I mean, just the things that you poured into these founders were so amazing. We're forever just grateful for that. And of course, we have some that's sitting in the audience watching online. Our mentors and investors, you guys are such a great community partner. We're just thankful what you've done. And again, sitting and giving that time, you could have allocated and did many more things, but you decided to help us out. So we just want to say thank you. And of course, I want to give a thank you to our sponsor who made this all possible, right? Who brought us in and created something amazing. He dealt with me for 11 weeks. I want to bring up Darren Dreesen to give us some just words about the partners. So Director of Innovations, if you can just come give us some words.
Well, thank you all for being here tonight. Really excited to have you. It's been a pretty crazy journey. I'd like to say this all started with Kurt walking in my office, but since it was COVID, that didn't actually happen. He knocked on my team's door, I guess, and said, "Hey, Darren, what do you think we might be able to do in our space with startups?" And so with that simple phrase, Kurt gave us the opportunity to go do something that we think really turned out pretty cool. The power of what Generator can bring with their knowledge in the startup ecosystems and building companies, and then the power of the amazing people here at our R&D center who were so generous with their time, and to try to even name them would be impossible, but it's just been amazing to watch them work with all these people and just have a ton of fun doing it. It's been great getting to know all these startups and these founders. They're not just great companies, but really great people. And it's been a total blast, and I'm truly going to miss having them around here. So with that, you're not really here to listen to me. You want to hear from them. So we'll let them get up on stage here in just a sec.
So I just kind of want to give like a quick snippet before we bring up Altitude Medical. When I met John and the crew, you will meet them if you haven't with networking, just to see the growth and the development in just the company in this short time, it just shows having a leader of John of Altitude Medical, just the possibilities and the hard work. He beat me here every morning and was still here when I left. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm not doing my job. But he was just so committed to this program and utilizing the resources and the benefits. And I'm just happy to be able to bring John up to the stage to give you his innovative pitch for Altitude Medical.
Thank you for coming today. This is great turnout. I'm really happy to be here. Thank you for the kind words, Shakia. There we go. All right, so this is, we're Altitude Medical. My name is John Horbley, and I'm the CEO of Altitude Medical. I'm joined today by two of my colleagues, Ray Dunning and Sunny Karowski. We invented door handles that dispense hand sanitizer. Now, these door handles aren't designed to go everywhere. They're really for critical points of contamination. So think about, as an example, a public restroom door or some other kind of high traffic door in your facility. To date, we've generated over $750,000 of revenue with the sale of these products. We have paying customers, we have proven our business model, and we've been able to show that our products stand up over the test of time. Now, we validated our products in the market, and that gave us the opportunity to go ahead and to check out some other markets to figure out where these products do really well. And it turns out that it's pretty much any facility that has a public restroom. So we know that people are afraid to touch door handles in a public restroom. I'm pretty sure everyone here knows why that is or has had that own experience themselves. It's because door handles are covered in germs. So we said, well, what if there were an intuitive solution at the door that got people to use hand sanitizer as they exit the restroom? And that's why we developed our patented door handles, which dispense hand sanitizer without slowing you down as you exit the restroom. All of our products have been designed with this theme in mind. All of our products, too, pair with our proprietary hand sanitizer cartridges. So Pull Clean, it's perfect for those larger restroom locations, which typically have that pull door that you use to get out of the restroom. Turn Clean, very similarly, is a good fit for those smaller restrooms where you typically have a privacy lock. Both Pull Clean and Turn Clean will cover about 90% of those commercial door handle locations that you're going to find in the markets that we serve. In addition, all of our products have been designed to be easy to install. It takes about 10 minutes to install our handles or less. Touch Clean. Touch Clean is a custom product which we developed specifically for McDonald's order menu touchscreens. So if I'm a user, I'm ordering my cheeseburger and fries. Afterwards, I just reach over, I just get my hand sanitizer. Now my hands are clean before I sit down to eat. I don't even have to move my feet, it's right in my working pathway. Count Clean is a piece of software that we developed to pair with our door handles, which enables them to be smart. It enables them to know hand hygiene rates at the door, to track usage of the cartridges, or to track footfall into and out of the restroom. Our revenue model and our business model is simple. It's very simple, similar to the printer cartridge business model. We are focused on earning our sales based on the replacement hand sanitizer cartridges that we sell. Whether we provide the door handles at no charge to our customers or whether we charge a small margin, it doesn't really matter. You're going to make your money back and recover that cost with that first pack of sanitizer that you sell to your customers. We have learned that our products, that they make good business sense to a variety of different market segments and to the businesses within those market segments. We've also learned that our products, that they stand up over the test of time in high traffic locations like those on your screen. We found too that customer and employee safety is of high importance to most major brands, especially in today's day and age, in today's climate. While we've talked about how our products are applicable across many different market segments, this helps to justify our total addressable market, which is over $10 billion a year in the US alone. We've also been able to discern that our products, Pull Clean and Turn Clean, are welcomed and our customers are pleased to have these products included in their hand hygiene strategies for their facilities. Now, this is something that is important because when it's included in their facilities, they want to make sure that it's coming to them in a way that they want to receive it. So they like it even more when it's coming through a channel that they're used to buying from, a channel that they trust buying from. So now that we've validated our products, our attention is shifting to focusing on scaling our go-to-market strategy. And with that, we're looking to promote our product portfolio by creating new partnerships with the intention of helping to expand our distribution and the market awareness of our products. We're going to do this with our team, which is comprised of our board of directors, which includes seasoned investors, which includes marketing and sales experts, which includes engineers and healthcare professionals. I'm responsible for running the business side along with our commercial team, which handles the sales, the logistics, and the customer support. To summarize Altitude Medical, we create patent-protected proprietary products. This gives a unique selling advantage to our sales and distribution channels. All of our products have been designed to be easy and intuitive to use. We have paying customers, we've shown that our business model works, and we know that our products stand up over the test of time. We're operating in a market that is over $10 billion in the US alone, and it's growing rapidly. Now is the time for us to partner with a proper sales channel to help us to spread this innovation to much broader markets. We're Altitude Medical, and thank you very much for this opportunity to be here. Thank you to everybody for having us. We're happy to take questions, and we're going to answer this.
What kind of intellectual property protection do you have? What kind of protection do you have on the replacement canisters?
We have different types of patent coverage, both on the handles and on the canisters. We have design patents and utility patents to cover our products, a variety of different ones too.
What's the future look like in terms of other opportunities with the same product, maybe with a little bit more diverse setup? I'm thinking of a car, for example. How many of us go to a store and come out of the store feeling dirty, and you get in your car and you're looking for your hand sanitizer? So that's just one example, but obviously there are others. I was curious what your future looks like.
Well, that's a great question, but our focus right now is this: the marketplace isn't even aware of these things. We've really only validated certain markets. We've got to get this product out into the market in mass, and that's our next step. There are other ideas about places that could use, sanitization, like you just mentioned, but our focus right now is getting this to the marketplace that's waiting for it.
With the product, did you notice or take into account the behavior change of the patrons in the restroom? And I think we all know the proverbial trash can that's on the side that fills up with all of the paper towels because no one wants to touch the door. Did you incorporate any of that kind of behavior change in some of your experimentation to prove value to your buyers?
Yes, that's exactly that's where the idea came from. The key for us was to make sure we designed it in a way it would be intuitive, they could recognize it if they'd never seen it before, and that it would not slow them down as they exit a restroom or go through a high traffic door. And it's designed with that very simple motion right in their normal pathway.
What has been your approximate split between hardware and your sanitizers?
In terms of revenue, it's probably been almost 90% cartridges. And we've done both models of providing the handles at no charge in many cases, or selling them as well to see how both of those worked. Well, amazingly, they'll do both, but a lot of sanitizer and hand soap cartridges, traditionally in the U.S. anyway, were provided at no charge, so we went in that direction first, but we've been selling them more recently successfully. And they are valuable. Most door handles will cost anywhere from $100 to $300, so there is value in that.
All right, we do have to cut it off at this point, just to be fair to the rest of the startups, but feel free to meet with them afterwards and ask any other questions you didn't get a chance to. Thank you.
All right, just another round of applause for Altitude. Thank you, guys. Awesome. So our next company is Compel, and I've fallen in love with the founders. Every morning, she was my smile, and I tell her that. I've never seen her not smile. I don't know if she's going to mind this story, but she actually got stung by a bee and still was smiling during one of our meetings. And I was like, oh, you are truly a sincere, happy person. So I'm very excited to bring Trisha Ringer up here with Compel.
Thank you, Shakia. Thank you to all of you who have joined us this evening. I really appreciate your time and attention. Hi, I'm Trisha Ringer. I'm CEO and co-founder of Compel and Rinco Health. Compel is a new high-performance formula that reduces risk while moisturizing and restoring our skin barrier. This patent-pending solution is conveniently designed to be safe for fabrics and high-touch areas, providing us with clean confidence for hours, even after it dries. I'm excited to announce that we have commercialized Compel and received over $9,000 to date, but the value add for our family is priceless. We are finally winning the battle over infection. Infections can stop us in our tracks, although it's at the front of everyone's mind lately, the same infections have just tortured wrestlers and athletes since the days of the gladiators. Every sport, years of work, all at risk of being lost due to infection. Let's take a look at this from a wrestler's point of view. Meet my friend Jackie. Her husband, Pat, is the high school wrestling coach, and 5 of their 7 kids wrestle. So you can imagine all the love and ringworm they share. One year, they had an outbreak that cost the family over $1,200. And this antifungal medication they have to take causes such dangerous side effects that there is a blood draw required for each course. So imagine checking your 5-year-old for liver damage after each time they have to take it. Or you have put years into his training, you've tracked his nutrition, you've made sure he has all the best coaches, and it's the big day. You drive hours one way to the tournament, pay to get in, and then right before the meet, the coach checks him over and notices a crusty infection. It's probably MRSA, possibly dangerous, definitely contagious. He does not get to compete. He doesn't get to prove himself. He doesn't get to accomplish that win you know he was capable of. And this happens to countless athletes all over the world every season, whether pee-wee or professional sports. We have experienced this firsthand. We know the risk and we know what's at stake. I had to come up with a solution that would allow our children to play the sports they love without all the anxiety and danger of skin infection. In early 2020, I wrote in my journal, Lord, I feel compelled to do something. By May of 2020, we were offering the world a dose of clean confidence. Compel restores skin damaged by staph, strep, and ringworm quickly and effectively, allowing athletes back in the game sooner. After a failed skin check and a missed tournament, we got to work. 3 times a day, he washed his face and applied Compel. 3 days later, he was cleared for the next competition. We've done the research, we listened to the experts, and we compiled a very simple formula, only 6 ingredients, each recognized as safe by the FDA, CDC, and WHO. We've included ingredients like ethyl alcohol and chlorhexidine, which is comparable to a surgical scrub that surgeons and their patients stake their lives on every day. Compel is registered with the FDA, and it's not just for skin. Successful independent laboratory testing has shown that Compel is effective against organisms that cause illness on skin and surfaces. So the path to clean confidence is simple. Use Compel Armor or Assure on your skin to protect and refresh your skin. Use Compel Safeguard on the mats and equipment to keep them safe for hours. And use Compel Safeguard in the wash once a week to get rid of all those nasty odors. Compel is the answer to threats at every level. Hours of protection for our skin, lasting clean for the areas we touch, and a sense of confidence that allows us to compete, or at least shake hands again. We sell direct on Compel.com, getcompel.com. We are getting ready to launch on Amazon. You can buy it one time or via monthly subscription. And we also offer a wholesale deal to schools and clubs that partner with us. You can buy it from pocket size to gallon at an affordable $8 to $85. Our customers know the dangers that they're exposed to without Compel. Coaches were without options, wasting time, money, and energy on wipes and watered down mat cleaners. Parents felt like failures because they were powerless to protect their children. And athletes had resorted to anything, even suffering through third-degree burns from using bleach on their skin just to pass a skin check. Compel is an absolute game changer. Coaches can focus on training champions. Parents are assured that their kids are protected, and athletes are confident that they can handle anything their opponent throws at them. And the sports market is just the proving ground. In the addressable market of $3.3 billion, we are focusing on high school and collegiate wrestling. Just wrestlers would spend just $24 a month, and programs could maintain with just $86 a week with a gallon of Compel. This literally gets us in the door. With wrestling having such low barriers to market, it gets our foot in the door to education, and then from verticals that spring from there. So milestones, we've commercialized a patent-pending product that performs safely and successfully in testing. We've earned customer loyalty and gained organic revenue, and we are gearing up to launch on the world's largest marketplace, all because we were compelled to protect our family. So who are we? We are two very curious, experienced, driven, and a little desperate parents, founders, determined to right some grievous wrongs. So we are looking for distribution partners. And although Compel is just over a year old, Chad and I have established Rinco in 2014. So it's 7 years of problem solving and product development that really came in handy when I had this idea. If you are interested in introducing us, if you go to a gym or if you're involved in athletics, we would love to meet those people that you interact with or influencers in that area. And we are open to investment. So if you feel compelled to go along this journey with us, then see me afterwards. Thank you so much. If there's anything I love more than Compel, it's talking about Compel. So are there any questions from the audience?
So do you have two different formulas, one for the prevention, as far as, making sure everything is sanitized and cleaned, and another particular formula for the skin itself?
Mm-hmm. Thank you. It's the same formula. The skin formula has more moisturizers. So the formula Safeguard that we use on surfaces has fewer moisturizers, but the same powerful, effective clean that leaves it sanitary for hours, even days. Anyone else? Yes.
Are there opportunities in other sports? Are there problems that you could address with similar products?
Absolutely. So wrestling is where we're starting, first of all, because that's where the problem was. And second of all, because we can address the threats on every level: the skin, the surfaces they touch, and the clothing that can carry spores. And so while we get our foot in the door with wrestling, that opens the door wide for us with other sports, and then moving on to education, and once we prove ourselves in that market. Yes.
So even though you have a formulation for both skin and surfaces, where do you think the focus will be? Do you think they're very different sales and different customers?
Yes, they are very different sales, and because we started out as a skin formula that's safe, there aren't a lot of people that want to spray their hands with the same thing they just used on the table. So that we will have to differentiate that probably a little bit more, but right now we are focusing on skin. There's nothing else out there that is this convenient, and especially in the sports market. Okay, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Tricia, and thank you
very
all
much.
for the questions.
How many of us are feeling compelled, right? Compelled. Thank you, Tricia. The next company we have coming up is Louis System. And these guys are hardworking, one of my favorites, always has a joke for me, love working with them. Super excited to bring Daniel up to the stage. His co-founder will be on the side for questions later, but please give a round of applause for Louis Systems.
Hi, everyone. I go by Danny, so we'll go Danny. So nice to meet you. We're really excited. Myself and my partner, Thomas here, we're very excited. And yeah, we'll give you a quick overview. So quick thing about just at a high level, Louis Systems, we're a Silicon Valley startup company. We founded the company in June of last year, and we're really excited about what we're going to show you. Key is Olui Systems, by the way, means, because where do we come with the name is a common question, is it means light in Armenia, because a lot of our engineering team, that's where they are. So we decided it's a good name, short. I liked it. We focus on smart IoT systems. Specifically, we're targeting the smart restroom, which is why we're here working closely with GP. So we're very much into the space. The reason is because a huge market. It's going to grow tremendously over the next 10 years. And we think we can bring some innovative, revolutionary technology to it. So the focus of what we're bringing to the smart restroom is something that we want to benefit both the patron, the users of the restrooms, as well as the facility managers, facility personnel to upgrade the facility. So that was our target of what can we do to improve overall the general adoption of smart restrooms. So here's the product. There's one product. We actually started with this product, and what it is you can see it. It's pretty obvious. Like if you've been on an airplane, you can go to restrooms, you can see the LEDs. So what we've done is develop a version that mounts directly onto the bath stall. And the nice thing about that is, it's very easy to install. Basically, you can take our units out of the box, put batteries in it, and then quickly install the units. 10 minutes, units are up, plug and play, they're working. What's also nice is that, basically, it's intuitive. Red, green, you don't have to explain it to anyone. You can deploy it anywhere. People will get it. And we really do think this is for larger venues like airports, arenas, potentially Class A office buildings. So that's the target market we're after. The second product that we developed, kind of together with the first product, is very similar in terms of technology. What we've done is separated the sensor part of the unit, which goes inside the restroom, with the display unit, which is connected wirelessly, but that can be outside. And this is for like unisex restrooms, as well as potentially, for family care, places like that. So this is meant for smaller venues, such as convenience stores, things like that. Coffee shops are very common. Smaller venues that basically there's a door there, use it. And the nice thing is you can separate the display up to 50 feet away. So if you're in a restaurant and you don't see the restroom, you can have the display unit, closer to the patrons, and instead of them having to walk over to the restroom, wherever it may be, to see if it's occupied or not. So as you said, we're into the smart, technology. So besides the value to the user, which is just to see if the restrooms are occupied or not, we've packed the unit full of a lot of sensors that we think adds value for the facility manager. And that data that our devices have push the data timestamped to our hub. We have a very little hub, which then pushes the data to our cloud. So we develop a full cloud, which then stores the data. You can analyze the data. You can then push that data to another, like a building management system for the larger buildings, such as like Colo, GP Colo. They have a very nice smart restroom platform. We could push our data to Colo. And also, of course, you can get an app. You see the app directly if you're wanting to, if you're the facility manager or who's the servicer, as well as, display and all that stuff. So there's all of that is capable once the data hits the cloud. And then the question is what data, right? Data is only good as if you have a lot of it. So what we put in here is the ability to track usage in terms of traffic data, as well as air quality, environmental things like temperature, humidity, light. So all of those sensors we put inside the unit, and that data is, as I said, constantly pushed to our cloud, so you can see every restroom or every stall or restroom, what's happening in that unit. And of course, actions. Once the data hits the cloud, you can do a bunch of things with in terms of actionable data or insightful data, analyze it, predict it. You can send alerts. You can set reminders, notifications based on the data that you're receiving. So our revenue model is to sell product, the hardware, and our target price is $200 per. Our cost of goods is sitting at $80, so it's a very healthy margin in terms of making money on the hardware. And then also, because we have the cloud service, we can offer software as a service, subscription model, and that's basically $10 a month per year per device. So If you do the quick math, just take those numbers, and in the US, there are 124 million public restrooms in the US. Just take that number, assuming everyone wants to use our device in there. So you can do the quick math, and it comes out to a fairly healthy TAM. So quickly on the management team, I'm the CEO. My focus has been over the last 10 years focused on smart buildings and smart home products, technologies, launching things. So I'm very familiar with the space. My partner, Thomas, who's over here, he's a serial entrepreneur. We co-founded the company a year ago. He's very much into starting companies and growing them. And then, as I mentioned earlier, we have an engineering team in Armenia, and they're very, very, very senior. And our CTO, Dr. Harudi, manages that team. So one thing we've done since we've been here is actually done a lot of trials with our devices in these restrooms in GP and NTC here. If you go into the restroom in the corner, you'll see our units deployed. And we've also been asking all the employees here to give us feedback. And so this is sort of the summary of the feedback that we've gotten anonymous. So, we tallied it up as of this morning, and we're sitting at around 80% of people liking it, thinks it helps the user, and, likes the look. So we're very happy with the feedback that we've gotten. In the US, in California, where we are, we've also have smaller trials going on with convenience stores and coffee shops and the like for the second product that I mentioned. So why we're here is really we're been doing a lot of development, moving into trials, and we're ready, to really take the next step. So what we're looking for with the Generator and 1915 Studios and GP is we're looking for investors, but we're also looking for customers, which are facility managers basically, and with regard to partnerships, any strategic partnerships with some OEMs that may be in the smart restroom space or the restroom space, and then any distributors and sales channel partners. And so summary, we believe in this market, it's poised for growth. We are focused on good product that helps both the patron as well as the facility managers, and we are just looking for networking contacts that will help us grow our business. And that's it, I think. So yeah, I'm happy to take any questions at this point. Haram? I didn't plant him, I just know him.
So what do you say would be your competitive advantage versus other players in the same market?
Great question. There are other players that have product that have been deployed. In fact, the early picture I showed was DFW Airport, where you saw some lights and everything, and those are deployed. The real advantage is our product is very quick to deploy, very simple. It scales from a small convenience store up to airports. The competitors that we have, they're using extremely expensive equipment. It takes an electrician and a very big install, like at the airport, to deploy their units. Takes a long time, a lot of money, and at the end of the day, you get the same product. So we think we have a lot better solution. Also, we scale downward to the smaller markets. I'm sorry, here.
Are you able to quantify the value to the facility manager of the smart facility?
Of the data? Not yet. Honestly, we haven't gone that far in terms of assessing the value. We feel good about the value to the patron of what that is, because that's intuitive, and so far the feedback has been great. But in terms of what the facility manager, how important it is to them, we really haven't gauged that yet, and we need to do more. Honestly, we need to do more trials with that. But the data is all there, and if they feel it's useful, we have it. It's optional. It's not a requirement.
All right, two questions. The first one's easy, I think. So when you look at your model, who do you feel that you are better serving, the patrons or the facility managers? Who benefits most? Where's your value coming from?
Truthfully, our belief is the patron. The patron who walks in, and we all have gone to public restrooms, and we see there's a lot of, maybe servicing needs, or things are not optimum based on the conditions. We think the patron will benefit the most from this. And indirectly, of course, the facility manager will be happy because there's, their patrons are happier.
Okay. So the second one, when I came over and talked to you at your table,
you can do that.
You teased me by only talking about motion and occupancy and a little bit about temperature and humidity.
Tell me about this odor detection and air quality.
Yes, we have a sensor that does air, basically, they call it a total air quality sensor, and it does CO, CO2, and a bunch of chemicals individually. It can classify many different individual chemicals by parts per billion, things like that. And of course, if you know like odor, especially urine and feces, they have a specific chemical composition. So we can basically push the data to the cloud, then the cloud could decide what type of odor it is. Great question.
We have a virtual question from Laura. What has been your biggest challenge thus far?
That's a great question. Technically, in the development, it's been fabulous. I'll be very honest with you. We have a very seasoned team. Really, I think the big thing is where we are now is just getting that market launched. Nobody knows us. We're small, small company. We think we have a great product. For us, the challenge is what we're kind of facing now, which is why we actually joined Generator, is to get out there and get the message out.
All right, thanks to Danny, to the Lewis team, and thanks for all the questions.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Louis System. Again, great guys. Now I have a reason to visit Silicon Valley, so I'll be looking forward to that. The next company we have coming is Roving Blue. She is one of our local companies, and a super amazing, talented individual. Has taught me so much about ozone I've never even knew was possible. So happy to bring up Yana. She goes by Mariana, but we call her Yana in the program. So give her a round of applause as she comes to give her pitch.
Thank you, Shakia. Wow, what an honor it is to be here with you guys tonight and just to be given the opportunity to educate people about our technology is huge because nobody knows about it. So my name is Mariana Dumeyer, Yana, and I'm the CEO of Roving Blue. Roving Blue is a water technology company, and we're located just about an hour north of here. We're one of the lucky companies that's actually Wisconsin-based. This is our emblem. We like to call it the power of EO3. It's kind of a mouthful if you go the other way and say we build electrolytic ozone generators. All you really have to remember is our technology gives you the power not just to make clean water, but to make water that cleans. And I'll explain that. But first, I want to cover the bigger picture. There is no doubt, no question that purifying water and sanitizing things is an urgent need around the world. Our technology gives us a new tool in the toolbox against germs. But let's back up a little bit and tell you about ozone. There's a lot of technical people in this building, but for those that are not that technical, most people understand it as that layer of gas in the sky that protects the earth from the sun, and that's true. It is a form of oxygen. It's 3 molecules instead of 2. But what most people don't know about ozone is that when you take it and you dissolve it into ordinary tap water, you can create a sanitizing solution that is actually more powerful than chlorine bleach. The interesting thing about ozone and what makes it so special is that it doesn't like being ozone and it wants to revert to oxygen and it wants to do it quickly. And that's what it does. So it leaves nothing behind but water. So this is a clean, green, and sustainable technology. Why are you only hearing about it now and what makes us so special? Ozone has been around for decades. It's the way of making it that has changed and what we bring to the table. Normally, it has been in use by large water treatment facilities like the city of Los Angeles or Milwaukee, or it's been used by major bottlers like Perrier or Nestle. It has a reputation for being big and expensive, and that is what other ozone generators are. The technology is called Corona Arc, and basically the difference is because you need oxygen to make ozone, they will take it from either the air that we're breathing or bottled oxygen. If you want to use it in water, you have to figure out how to dissolve it into the water because it's still a gas. So you need all kinds of pumps, venturis, and contact chambers to dissolve it into the water properly. Our technology, on the other hand, is very small. It's very low voltage. We take our oxygen from the water itself and we dissolve it directly into the water. So there are no pumps and no Venturi chambers, and we're very inexpensive. The largest unit we sell is the size of a 2-liter Coke bottle. The smallest is what I like to call our little ozone chip. What this means is just how computers used to take up an entire room and were very expensive and now have been brought down to the size of a chip. That means that we can take our technology and put it in places you never thought of putting it before, right where you need it. So how have we commercialized it? 2017, we introduced the O-Pen. This is a pocket water purifier. You can see it after this presentation and play with it. It's really popular with travelers. You know, when you go to that foreign restaurant and they put that glass of water in front of you on the table, you're not so sure about it, or the water in your hotel room. You can use that water now with this pen without fear of it making you ill. A year later, we introduced the Ozopod 10. This is an entirely new class of home appliance, and you know, just try getting it to Home Depot, which we just did. It took forever because they just didn't have a category for us. But people are buying this unit to sanitize things in their home. They fill their sink with water, turn it on, submerge things like baby bottles or leafy greens, fruits and vegetables, so that they won't get sick from E. coli or salmonella. They actually take the water and will put it in a Windex bottle. And what a fun fact for you guys is, right here in these laboratories, we proved that ozonated water can behave just like Lysol if you spray it on a surface. Earlier this year, we just introduced our latest one. It's the Go 3, and it's the first water bottle to ozonate water in the bottle for people on the go. So we sell these products on our own website and on some e-commerce platforms, and also through a small network of authorized resellers. Our preliminary markets have been the outdoor-oriented types, campers and hikers, and came on strong last year. The Ozopod 10 became our top-selling product with health and wellness folks. The markets overlap, but it equates to $38 billion. But that's just our market, and we're a small team. We're a great team, incredibly passionate about what we do. But the truth is, this technology is much bigger than we are. So we kind of tumbled to the fact that in order to make it all it can be, we really need to reach out and work with other companies. So that's our ask today. We want to open our door and work with corporations that have a desire to give consumers what they're craving: chemical-free ways to clean things. What would that look like? I would love to meet a washing machine manufacturer that would like a sanitizing cycle that doesn't use heat. If I were a chemical sales company, you can actually sell ozone sanitation as a service. You can hook our stuff up and run it through the internet, just like all these other guys do. Or you can make a sanitizing spray bottle, which I know would be a hot seller because I pioneered the sales of that for another company in this country when they sold for $499. This little guy cost 20 bucks, so we can be competitive. So that's it. My ask is to help bring the power of EO3 to a lot of different products, and we want to make this emblem the new Intel Inside when it comes to water purification and sanitation. Thank you.
What are your competitors, the Corona Arc people, saying about your technology, and what do you say in rebuttal to them?
What do they say about our technology? They say it's expensive because for the most part, the ones that have made the most headway in the world have used a different technology for electrolytic ozone based on a boron-doped diamond. So we actually used this product in our first invention that I made that I couldn't sell, a portable water purification system. But it was very expensive. Great technology, but very expensive. So they kind of tend to point towards that. They don't really want people to know about the less expensive options. Probably another thing, you know, there are limitations, you know, there are parameters which this has to work. It will build up scale like a coffee maker, right? So you're going to have to design a product that you can either swap the unit out or tell your customers that once in a while you're going to have to immerse it in vinegar water to clean it off. things like that.
How long does how long is the water effective, the ozonated?
Oh, ozone likes to give up the ghost really quickly. So broad brush, 15 minutes is the half-life. But if you're going to use it in an appliance, the whole idea would be to punch it when you need it and make sure you've got it going when you need it.
And is that little device battery powered?
Yes, it is. A little 3-volt battery will take care of 1 liter of water in about 3 minutes, as far as like our new water bottle goes.
I'm going to jump in here with a virtual question. How is Roving Blue's technology different than 3OE Scientific, another early stage Midwestern EO3 company? Are they different patent protections?
Yes, we don't have a patent. We have a trade secret. We don't tell people how we make our ozone generators, and we don't intend to, because how it's different, I'm not sure about that specific company. I believe it might be what's called a PEM membrane. I'm not familiar with that particular technology.
Awesome.
But ours is plates, electrolytic plates. One is titanium, one is steel, and we have a special coating on it. And we did everything but push the send button to the patent office. We decided, we've been doing this for 4 years. Nobody's quite come up with something the same. Why tell them how we do it? So it's a trade secret.
All right, and the second and last virtual question here is, where did the name Roving Blue originate?
So I have an Irish grandma, and the Irish Rovers is a great band, and running around the countryside is roving, and blue means water. We can bring the power of clean water anywhere you go. That's the answer to that. One last one.
Yes, you talked about the usage in possibly a washing machine. Could you put this product in for instance, a refrigerator that could automatically sanitize your fruits and vegetables?
Okay, so fruits and vegetables, if they're treated with ozone, it's microbes that cause spoilage, right? Absolutely, 1000%. If you had a compartment for fruits and vegetables and you gave it a little of ozone, it will let you can claim longer shelf life, and we can prove it. Absolutely.
All right, thanks, Yana. Thanks for all the questions.
See how much you learned? I feel like I'm a genius in the power of EO3. Thank you, Yana, for that again. Awesome. So our last founder, our last team that's coming up, they make me feel important every day. One of the founders addresses me as boss. Good morning, boss. And I'm like, oh, that's me. But no, super great guys, super intelligent, out of Miami, Florida. And they're going to introduce you with their innovational pitch. Noreen William with Sanix.
In a digital age, things are evolving quickly. In the same way that smart homes are part of our daily life, intelligent restrooms are not far behind.
That's right. But not all restrooms are equal. Even this pristine restroom that you see here faces complex challenges. Poor sanitation is one of the leading factors for infectious diseases. The toilet seat and its immediate environment are considered hot spots for biocontamination, and diverse pathogens are found in them. I'd like you to imagine if you knew that each time you go to a public restroom, the toilet seat is disinfected and ready to use.
Hi, my name is Nuri Dora, and this is William Fromeda. Together, we create Sanex Pro, a patent-pending innovative solution that simply resolves all the problems, preventing surface, disinfecting the space, and give to the user a better
experience.
Yes. We identified 3 major problems in the public restrooms. Contamination of the surface, usually that happen in the stall. the toilet plume, that it's caused by disperse of airborne germs that caused by the toilet plume, and the odors that give to the user a bad experience.
The good news is it doesn't have to be that way. Health risks associated with using public restrooms are preventable, and we have a powerful solution. Contamination is a serious issue, but there is an antidote: disinfection. But someone has to do the job. So what's better than a robot that works 24/7? The operation and disinfection process is automatic. As the user comes into the stall, the cover will raise, and the user will clearly able to see on the LED display that the seat has been disinfected and is ready to use. Once the user leaves the stall, the cover will lower, containing the toilet plume. The toilet will flush, and a new disinfection and odor mitigation process will begin, leaving the seat disinfected and ready to use. The process is reliable, and even with our early prototype, it only takes 40 seconds to complete. I would like to show you some of Sanex Pro's features. Sanex Pro is touchless, it has odor mitigation, it is battery powered, it has a refillable with a chemical formula, it is easy to install, it literally takes 2 minutes. It fits most bowls, it has IoT integration, and best of all, Sanex Pro's cost is well below the cost of any comparable product you can find in the market.
We want to change the public restrooms, one toilet seat at a time. First, we will work with the US market. We identified 2 niches: office buildings and healthcare. In the office building, we identified 80 million toilet seats with a entire business of $15 billion yearly. On the healthcare market, with 4 million toilet seats, we see an entire market of about $1 billion. But furthermore, we have on the health market, there is a big problem, and it's the hospital-acquired infection. That costs to hospital facilities $15 billion yearly, and this can make huge reductions.
We want to raise the bar by incorporating technology into the restroom, and we want to make it affordable and flexible based on each niche. For office buildings, we plan to offer a subscription model in which the refill would be included in the cost. For healthcare, we plan to sell the product and the refillable directly. The market opportunities are huge. We're talking billions, and we are only focusing on 2 market segments. Imagine what would happen when we start to extend to other market segments like hospitality, entertainment, or even the B2C sector. Imagine when we go global. To aid you, just add a 0 at the end to the numbers that we're showing you, and you'll have an idea.
We are a young company. We want to grow, and we want to grow fast. We're looking for strategic partners to help us to bring Sanex Pro to the market, and together escalate the business. We're also looking for money to continue growing and to grow faster our company. Technology doesn't wait. We need to hit the market now, and this is the right moment.
Are you ready for the Sanex experience? Thank you. We'll take questions.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so we've learned that from working here at the studio. We learned that office space tend to be very susceptible to buying product directly. They tend to be more acceptable to a subscription model, a model in which there's no upfront cost, but there is a recurring bill.
Does your product replace the need for the labor of the regular cleaner to come in, sort of nightly cleaning in an office building or the regular day cleaning that happens in a healthcare, or is this in addition to that?
Good question. No, it doesn't replace it because we are guaranteeing that the seat is disinfected 24/7. That disinfection also goes down into the bowl. So you have less bacteria growth inside of the bowl, but you still have to clean the surfaces manually like you would in any restroom. What this would do is you would aid the janitor, the person that is coming in, and they wouldn't have to go as often to clean.
You kind of got to my question there. It was if you had a complementary way of dealing with visible residue. Because the thing is, when there's a flush, there's water droplets, or there's visible residue from someone who just wasn't as clean as you would like people to be. The janitor is not always going in after every user. So do you feel this clearly addresses the disinfection part, but for the patron themselves going in, what's your answer to saying you're getting a piece of the puzzle, but perhaps not the full puzzle for an entirely clean experience?
Okay, so let me tell you something that kind of addresses that. Yes, look, it's been found that 12 days after inquiring coronavirus, the virus starts to show inside of urine. Yes, we wouldn't take out the urine, but we would disinfect anything that is within reach, anything that our sanitizer comes in contact with. So the urine would be disinfected. Yes.
You mentioned that your seat goes down and disinfects after a user leaves. What's your compatibility with existing options of kind of touchless flush and things like that? You have certain SKUs for certain kind of Toto models or others, or is it completely compatible?
Yeah, so actually, when we have a solid cover on the seat, it works great for us if you have an automatic flash valve. Because what happens is when the user enters, our sensor will pick up the user and it will raise the cover. So the cover will go and block the Toto sensor, the Sloan sensor. It will block it. Once the user leaves, our sensor will tell this cover to go down, and that will make the toilet flush when this cover is down, controlling the toilet plume and disinfecting right after. So it would be great for us to use that. It's great for us without having to do any type of integration.
I understand the connection to healthcare, but could you explain again why you pick office buildings beyond just the sheer volume of them?
Sure.
We take specifically customer office building because we want to begin in a niche that is more controllable at this point. It's a first step. The idea is to continue as we thought that we have a huge market.
I'd like to expand on that. I'll say to you this. The office building space, especially Class A, is very competitive. Nowadays, you have a market for the building owner that still has a building that has to rent out. You have a market that is reducing in size because you have less people coming back to the office. Those building owners need to attract tenants. And this is the way to attract tenants. You have a company that would rent from your building and you tell them, look, your workers would have the peace of mind of knowing that every time they go to the restroom, the seat will be disinfected. And not only that, you're bringing something new and you're bringing technology into the restroom. That's why we see office buildings as one of the market segments we want to attack initially.
flush between like each airport user in a high traffic situation, what impact would that have on the number of people that you could push through that restroom between flights?
Excellent question. So the 40 seconds is on our beta prototype, the one that you see out there. We tested it here at the antimicrobial lab, and we got 95% kill with 40 seconds operation. Now, with that operation time, we would not be able to go into such a high traffic situation like an airport, but we would definitely be able to go to restaurants. We would be able to go into hotels. We'll be able to go into entertainment, healthcare, office buildings. Airports, not yet.
Awesome. Thank you, Sanix team. Thank you all for the questions.
I think we're ready for the Sanix experience, right? That was great. We learned a lot in that area. Thank you, guys. Before we end it, I just want to extend another thank you to our Georgia Pacific partners for making this possible, to the founders and everyone that helped to make this program a success. This was only our first cohort, and look at all of the amazingness that came out of that. So imagine what the future holds. The next program will be starting in February, and we're looking to do even more. We're also celebrating the founders, doing some networking. If you want to continue to have the conversation at Fratello's in Appleton, come out and enjoy their drinks. I don't know if I should have said that on camera, but do it at your own risk, no drinking or driving. But thank you guys for coming out. Thank you. Take time to greet everyone and greet the founders. We hope to see you at the reception. This is amazing, and we hope to see you in the spring. Thank you.